guys, we are back with another rebuild on Madden 23, and today is the New York Giants, a team that actually added a lot to their offense, specifically in the offseason, and I am surprised that I haven't rebuilt them sooner. Obviously, the key headliner would obviously be Darren Waller, assuming he stays healthy. That hasn't really been something that you can prove as of late, but once again, I know it's a beaten horse type of situation, but if he's healthy, he's a top 5 tight end. But as of right now, because of the injuries, definitely not a top 5-10, which it's weird to say because it's like, well, can you really judge him because he's not on the field? Well, kind of, I suppose. Offensive line, Evan Neal, after the injury, had a little bit of a down season, but he obviously still has a promising future. Andrew Thomas was one of the best tackles in the entire league. Saquon Barkley had a huge bounce-back season. Daniel Jones is a weird name. We obviously have a 4-year 160. I almost wanted to say 180. Pretty much 40 mil per year, but the guarantees aren't as crazy as, you know, you're expecting a lot of these guys like Burrow and Herbert and Lamar Jackson probably are going to be getting. So I suppose there's some outs, but it's a bit later. But yeah, as far as a Madden concern goes, I don't know, dude. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him long-term. We're going to try. I don't have Jamison Crowder here, do I? I don't think it's going to matter. Maybe in real life he gets some burn, but in-game, he's just like a 78 overall 30-year-old. It probably doesn't matter, so I apologize if you're really mad that I didn't add him, but at least I mentioned him. You know, there's so many other wide receivers here that should start. Campbell was a nice little cheap addition, if you will. Potential. Still speedy, and he definitely had his best season as a pro last year, I believe. I mean, I feel like he's always injured, so I would just assume because he actually had, good 600 yards. O-line, the interior needs some work. Lewinsky is what? Is he playing? I was about to say, he's not playing center, is he? So we could definitely use 2, maybe all 3 linemen on the interior, and then defensively. Still don't know why Dexter Lawrence isn't a superstar X Factor, or even a superstar if you want to be cautious, if you will. He had a crazy season. You know, a lot of defensive tackles who were like, are they, aren't they? Really had good years this year, and he was one of them. Leonard Williams is still solid, obviously. He's a huge cap number, but obviously with those ratings, I'm going to keep him. Cornerback is a big need. We definitely need another corner. Dory Jackson's fine, but we definitely need another corner. Bobby Okereke, obviously a pretty big signing. Didn't keep Jared Davis. I was looking, I was like, okay, did Jared Davis get re-signed? I was like, I don't see him, and I skipped, and I was like, okay, we're not going to grab him. And it's like, oh, he did get re-signed. He's a little bit of a different name because he is actually technically better, but I assume I'm going to get a better player there anyways, and if I don't, then I guess I'll have to go find him and bring him in. But Edge is fine. McKinney's fine. Need a new strong safety. Left end, we need a new left end, I suppose, but it's not a bad team. It's definitely not a bad team. 80 overall seems like, I guess there is some positions, like quarterback specifically, wide receivers in Madden, and then a couple defenders, but yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be the toughest rebuild team, but it really comes down to what Daniel Jones can do. If he sucks, I mean, you pretty much have to find a new quarterback, which can be a massive problem, obviously. Some would say for most teams, it's the most massive problem. But let's get into this draft. I don't know who the hell I want to go for. I kind of want corner early, but at the same time, some of the better linemen are there, at least guard-wise in the late first. So it really might just be one of those best available pick type of deals. As we have the Panthers here, I completely forgot to do the old get rid of their quarterbacks, upgrade their right ends thing, so we'll do that. And I really was about to make a trade up for Devon Witherspoon, but it was just so costly. He's still here at 17, but I imagine he will be gone shortly. What a steal that would be for Detroit, who I can't remember what they took at 6. I think it was Edge, but that would have been insane. I couldn't do it, though. It would have costed me at least a second-round pick if we're talking about pure realism. Jackson Smith and Jigba at 20. I don't think he's getting outside of the top 15, even close to. I'd probably say 11, to be honest, but that would be insane at 20. Quentin Johnston is still there. It intrigues me. So 4 more picks. Well, technically 3 more picks. Do we have all that we would want? So Deontay Banks would be 1. Quentin Johnson would be 2. Antonio Johnson wouldn't be the worst pick. And then we have all our linemen there. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just going to let it happen. I would love to see Quentin Johnston there, but he might even go here. I need wide receiver. Could go here. Doesn't go there. Right guard would have been nice. So we have options at 26. Okay, so I'm kind of glad we didn't trade up because we could still get Deonte Banks. But wide receiver, it's not the biggest need for New York. I think, you know, if you're thinking, let's say, if you think your roster right now is good enough to win and make the playoffs, but you need to shore up the positions you have to, you know, that are really bad, wide receiver's not even on, like, the radar, really. But at the same time, it would be nice to start developing someone now. And, I mean, I suppose Darius Slayton's kind of a bigger guy, but no one's really as big as him. But at the same time, Deonte Banks, get your DRC, if you will, super fast. Oh, man, corner is tough to pass on. Brian Branch is here at 26, though. Oof, we could use a safety bad, dude, but I don't think 26 is even realistic for him. And I think Brian Branch is too good to pass on. There is a chance he could be here at 26. I wouldn't bank on it, but I just think that is, I wouldn't say a bigger need, but it's tougher to replace in this class specifically. I know talking about safety being, you know, that valued, but and I just think that was the best available pick for us there, and it's a steal and a half on top of it, so we'll take it. The one thing I can definitely tell you, as Deonte Banks goes there, what a steal for Seattle. Glad I didn't trade up for Witherspoon. Would have been great, but just it would have cost too much. I did not know Drew Sanders was still there. A little bit more edge for our liking, especially in this class, but yeah, I don't know. I think he would have been a hell of a choice there. So Quentin Johnson is still there, but obviously he is just not going to be there in real life, so I can't take him. As much as I would love to, Brian Branch at least has a chance to fall this 26, you know, even if it's a sliver of a chance. Quentin Johnson has 0% chance to be a damn near third-round pick. Now, I'm not sure if we've ever taken Tyreek Stevenson, but as far as his ratings go, he looks great. B-man, B-zone, A catching, pretty damn athletic, 21 years old, 6'1", still here, projected to be a late second as well. I'm going to grab him. Tyreek Stevenson is going to be our pick here, and he's hidden. That's another name to the list. So instead of being like, oh, well, we know Garrett Wilson and Kyle Blue Kelly, or I think Kyle Blue is still star. Even though we know those guys are star plus, you know, we don't want to take them, but at least we added another name to that list of like who's hidden, who's not. Tackle wouldn't be the worst, you know, inside on this 3-4, but I mean, we don't have a pick here to take a player. DJ Turner was obviously super interesting as well, get some speed, but Henley went early. That's a good pick for Atlanta. They love their speed inside. But yeah, I don't know if we can make a play here because our highest pick is a late 4th-round pick. Would love to add another lineman or two, but I don't know if that's going to happen here. Why do the Chiefs draft so well? Could they stop? 3rd-round picks are for losers anyways. Losers that like talent. Sidney Brown, man. Now I wish I didn't go freaking safety, dude. That would have been a hell of a pick. That would have been a hell of a pick. Who would have even had at 26? Oh, guard. But speaking of guard, Bass is who I was kind of making a move here for. Linebacker wouldn't hurt either, though. Another corner, probably not. But I guess I'm going to go for Bass. We've seen it a lot, but TJ Bass, hidden development trade. I have no shame. Can't really make too many trade ups, so I'm just going to move on to 26, which I imagine there's at least another lineman or two there, and more importantly, I don't have to trade up for them. Some wide receivers, a few that probably won't be there in real life. Braden Daniels, another interior guy. Glowinski would be pushed out of the starting role, though, so that's a little weird. I would like a linebacker. I'm going to go linebacker. Papawi, the speedster. Little undersized, but speedy. We don't care. Drew 7 of this and a 7 next with 154 for 137, which sadly, Braden Daniels just went. I moved one extra pick because the Raiders had back-to-back. They're the ones that took Daniels. I just didn't want to trade with them again. But yeah, that's unfortunate because the only guy that's left is Dante Bull, who doesn't really fit with this team. He's also really weak, but I do know he's hidden, so I gotta cheese it. I gotta cheese it because I know he's hidden. Makes me sad, though. Let me tell you. I wonder if there's any running backs around because I'm trying to think of, like, who even is the Giants' backup? Oh, yeah, Breida, right? Like these two fellas, but Breida, I suppose. Some speed. I guess Andre Isovivas is a like a 6th-rounder. He's fast, so why not, I suppose. 95 speed, 94 excel at 6'3". I suppose that's a win. And then a 7th-round running back. Who's even projected to be here this late? Although with Breida, do we even need one? Not getting someone for the defensive line is a super L, but I don't think there's much of a chance here. I guess Jalen Redmond, why not? 85 strength. Not the most athletic guy, but he's 21, if that means anything to anyone, but he's a 7th-round pick, and, I mean, he looks like a 7th-round pick. And I know I keep mentioning it, but, man, not trading up for Witherspoon. What a decision. Very good one at that. But Brian Branch, the 77 overall safety, automatic plug-and-play starter for us. Glad to take that pick. Stevenson, 74 overall, fair enough. 71 overall for the guard. It keeps going down, obviously. That's kind of how that works. But 71 overall, 70, 69, 69, 63. Is Branch a superstar? I don't imagine Stevenson would be, but if Branch is a superstar, that'd be kind of clutch. I guess I'll move him to strong safety. Only star. But strong safety, I mean, that's... Would you see the Giants going strong safety or safety in the first round? Probably not, but the value is there. I actually didn't remember Terrell Burgess is a Giant for the year. Obviously, not projected to be some amazing superstar starter, but definitely could have worked him in there and maybe just used him as a starter. He's probably like a 73, 74 overall, like 24, 25-year-old safety. I need to find him because I actually want him. As far as Jared Davis goes, he's never going to be like a long-term starter in games, so it doesn't really matter, but Terrell Burgess could be like at least a backup for long-term purposes, so I kind of want him. All right, so this is what the team looks like. I have obvious incentive to have Daniel Jones be the guy because, well, he has all of our money, but 2 new hidden development trait linemen. Don't yell at me for having the 6'7" right guard, okay? And he's not even that athletic, but, you know, just leave me alone, all right? This is what the offense looks like. Hodges is the number 2, as I would kind of expect him to go into the season as the number 2. As Shepard, I mean, once upon a time, people would call him the best slot receiver in the league. And obviously injuries have kind of plagued that, but kind of crazy to think, right? Like, you know, but it's also insane that he's 30. It feels like he's been like 24, 25 his whole like career, but obviously not the case. Defensively, we have a new linebacker 2, new strong safety, new corner 2. Ended up getting Deshaun Hand from free agency. I don't know if he's on a team in real life. He's like a 71 overall. He's not going to be a long-term guy, so I don't really care too much. But yeah, next season, left end for sure. You know, wide receiver wouldn't hurt, O-line wouldn't hurt, and then quarterback, depending on how the season goes. Don't know what the Giants' scheme is like for quarterbacks. I don't think it's going to be good, though. I don't think it's going to be good. Which, thinking of things that would be good, maybe you leaving a like and subscribing, perhaps. I don't know. We do a ton of franchise stuff, so if that's your thing, I mean, stick around. Wide receiver. A, who would we be mentoring? And B, okay, fair enough, I guess. You got me. You got me. Who is this? Cornerback? Love when it's a cornerback. Cornerback? Oh, the worst one. An outside linebacker who's on ball. Ugh. Sure tackling for a pass rusher. Nice. Ooh, we lost the game by 1, but since it's normal to star, actually, I think even X Factor now, you don't even need to win. It's just performance, if I'm not mistaken. But Daniel Jones' star, still a long way to go from being like the long-term option, but that's obviously a huge step in the right direction. Wait a minute. Darius Slayton's a superstar. We're nailing these breakouts. Which I suppose the breakout was Slayton, so we're nailing him. And Daniel Jones is a superstar. I haven't changed the scheme. I'll show you guys right now a little bit of a spoiler on the season, which is actually not bad. But I haven't changed anything because I was like, well, let's see how it goes. And the scheme's been pretty good. I like it. This team is busted. We went from normal to superstar, and Slayton's now a superstar, which, of course, receiver breakouts are very uncommon to actually get. This team's going off. I mean, if I were to do this 10 more times in a row, the exact same moves in the draft and the offseason, all that stuff, maybe this happens one other time if you're the luckiest ever. This is an absurd amount of luck in this season. If Daniel Jones can't succeed in this rebuild, it's a GG. Like, he went from normal to superstar in the first season. It's not even week 9. Like, there's no hope for him if he can't be good this one. Also, the Giants did just win. The Cowboys did just win, but that's the longest losing streak I've ever seen them have as well. 0-7 they were, and another breakout. Could you imagine he's an X factor? So yeah, you don't actually have to win 4+ touchdowns. I mean, that's doable, and I don't feel great about it. Oh, the text, obviously because we lost, but the text being large was and it wasn't. But here we are at 6-3. Dexter Lawrence needs a contract. This is actually, is that not the contract that Jeffrey Simmons just signed? A 4-year $94? Either way, a 5-year $120? Nice. We'll take that because he's a beast. Once again, he should be an X factor, but he isn't. Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's the thing lately, right? Especially for injury-prone players, which, I mean, I suppose is running backs in general. That's the position that's injury-prone because they get beat up so much. But paying a running back is super iffy, but it's Madden terms, even though he just declined it. You never go wrong with signing someone like him, so we're going to try to get him back if we can. Also, we have so much money. I don't understand how guys like Xavier McKinney always end up in free agency. Am I missing something? McKinney's always a free agent, it seems. Yet there's so much money here. Oh, I guess if you were going to pay Adoree Jackson, Leonard Williams, and everyone, it does add up. But I don't think I want to pay Shepard because he's 30 years old. Hodgins, I have no idea how he's playing. There's some names here that normally in a rebuild I wouldn't really care about, but I actually care about them. I actually want Adoree Jackson, I think. But man, that kind of locks him up for some time. And a 3-year $30 isn't cheap. For a guy that's, 83 overall, his ceiling's reached pretty much. 84, 85 is probably his very best. But at the same time, I'm going to give him the deal, I think. Man, it's a potential risk, but it is what it is. We're here. So we ended up getting Leonard Williams to a 2-year 24, which I like a little bit better because we're not stuck as much. He's here until he's 31, 32, which is fair enough. Don't know how well Campbell's playing. I try to give Hodgins a 2-year 12. He's like, I can get better in free agency. He's like, well, I don't know if that's true, but go ahead, pal. We had a really good start to the season, and a massive choke job has finished us as 8-9 and out of the damn playoffs. At this point, I don't even know off the top of my head, 6-3 or something. Maybe I should have changed the scheme as we lost 3 in a row, 1-2 in a row. I was like, oh, here it is. 4 straight losses. Love it. Love it. Especially when the Cowboys are, unless they turned it around, are going to get a top 5 pick to add to their super squad that they already have. Not sure why they suck. Is that Saquon Barkley with 8 touchdowns, by the way? Is Daniel Jones an X factor? That's a hell of a season. He's him. I can't change the scheme, though. Slayton's an X factor. Hodgins could be star. Campbell could be star. Doubt it. Waller, I mean, that's a good season for him, but 600 yards is really bad. Man, I don't know. I like this scheme for offense, other than tight end, sadly, but defense now, that, especially with the talent this team has, could be improved. Linebacker with the most interceptions could be a superstar himself. As much as we didn't make the playoffs, assuming the dev-ups that we assume are going to happen, this was a really momentous season, especially since we're still going to have a nice draft pick on top of it. So didn't expect to win it all first year anyways. So Daniel Jones, best quarterback, that's got to be an X factor. No way Daniel Jones went from normal to X factor in one season. There's no way, right? Chiefs versus Buccaneers, Super Bowl rematch. I don't know who the hell they have at quarterback for the Buccaneers side, at least, that has given them a Super Bowl berth. But the Chiefs win in their revenge game. Dev-ups, look at these dev-ups. So Daniel Jones is only a 77 overall somehow, despite the fact that I had the sliders on 144 for a quarterback. He's kind of absurd. What did his throw power get to? 89. I think he starts at 87, 88, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know, but pretty low usually. Darius Slayton, he's an X factor, which is ridiculous, but he is 27 already, which kind of sucks. But huge season. If he's going to, potentially develop to an 85 plus, that's the season he needed to have. So kind of saves us at wide receiver a lot. Quarterback hopefully is fine. You can't get any better than that. And then defensively, some dev-ups with Papoe and Okereke, and obviously Dexter Lawrence, who should have already started as an X factor, but at least he's a superstar now. Not really sure what triggered that. Maybe tackles for a loss, sacks were okay, I guess, for DT. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear the positions we need now, right? Left end, maybe that's it on defense, and then center wouldn't hurt, wide receiver. So wide receiver, if there's someone in the, maybe top 10 even, we could probably make a trade up and snag that position because, once again, it is by far the biggest need at this point. I mean, left end, I suppose, but you have enough talent there that you can mask the issues you have there. But yeah, we definitely could use... Oh, Brady's still here. Okay, I guess. But yeah, we could definitely use that wide receiver. Maybe if there's a proven one, we can just grab one, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. $77 million, and I think we've paid all the players we absolutely have to pay, right? How do we have so much money? Is it just because we're not paying edge rushers? I would say that's probably the case, right? This team doesn't have any edge rushers they're paying like crazy money to, which almost every team in the league does. Sterling Shepard is still an 80 overall. I mean, I'm down, especially since it seems like we're losing Hodgins. 1 year 10's a little expensive for him, but yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. But yeah, you've heard of the running back committee, but now it's the wide receiver committee. New running back. I'm sorry, I had to do the joke. Super funny, man. Hilarious. Wide receiver Ayuk could be a guy that could be a free agent. He's not a guy that would demand the craziest trade value because of... No, I'm thinking of Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, Ayuk is pretty good, actually. He would probably still demand a trade, but at the same time, he's in free agency. Like I've said in the past, other teams get the ability to sign these guys, so why shouldn't I be able to? Pittman, I just think they have so many needs, and they have a lot of money. There's no way they let him go. But a 3-year, I mean, I would say a guy like Ayuk's probably a 3-year 54 minimum in the open market. But luckily for us, the argument can be made that there's a lot of different wide receivers. So we look like we're going to have ourselves our new wide receiver. And if there's any other moves we can make, I would like to make them, specifically the offensive line if we can. Center would be the biggest need, and I'm not super sold on our current guards. Damn, I was just about to pay Javon Hargrave as well, and as I forgot, he got freaking payday, so that's not going to work out. All right, 4 names, 2 of them huge, and do we get them all? We do. So Ed Oliver, it's been a while since I've grabbed him, but a 2-year 23 because of the high interest he had in our team, I couldn't pass on. A 3-year 54 for Ayuk. Don't even need a wide receiver now. Got a backup running back, and then Tyler Bass, the kicker, to replace Graham Gano. Very similar style kicker as well. Just pure power, just kick it right through the uprights. Well, that's the problem. Kick it somewhere. It's going to go far. Will it go through the uprights? Who knows? Yeah, I don't know if we did some like unlimited money glitch or something, but it just feels like we have so much money. Unless there's somebody with a pay soon. I suppose this team is actually pretty damn young, so there may be those positions. But oh yeah, Slayton, I suppose. He only had a 2-year deal, so he's going to need a contract. He might be asking for 15 per with the dev he has. Andrew Thomas was on a 5th-year option, or we gave him a 15-year option, so now he's going to have that. Daniel Jones, obviously expensive as hell it is overall. Yeah, I mean, Shepard is paid a lot now, but we can let him go. Glowinski can be let go. I mean, we're at least good for another season. So, I mean, even though it seems like we have unlimited money and we assume we have to pay people, we don't technically have to. There's really, other than Slayton, and Andrew Thomas, there's not a lot to go for. So, and even then, you could probably let Slayton go with Ayuk being our new number 1. I know Slayton had himself a hell of a year, but I also kind of assume that Ayuk is going to take that from him next season, as he is technically the best wide receiver on the team. But yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't know how many needs we have other than like maybe center, maybe another wide receiver, just because you expect Shepard to go, Campbell to go, and then depending on the price, Slayton may be gone. And then defensively, like we talked about, left end, right end wouldn't hurt. Edge, considering Aziz has not played well and he needs a contract. Corner wouldn't hurt, I suppose. Adoree, but we just gave him a 3-year 30, so he'd be a very expensive backup. But yeah, we're in a really good spot. I'm surprised. And wow, this, based on potential, might be the best quarterback class I've ever seen. I mean, these 2 guys could be generationals for all we know, especially Michael Hicks. But Daniel Jones proved himself. There's no chance I'm looking at quarterback higher than the 4th round. I mean, that is how well he played. I mean, what can you say about it? He killed it. We have pick 15, and wow, Dallas with pick 1. Who do they get? Trammell? I don't even know. I wouldn't look at someone that high. I mean, honestly, I don't even look at half the people that are super high up here. Tell me none of the quarterbacks are there, because I'm going to be so mad. Of course, there's at least one Jason Carson, but once again, you just don't need him right now, and it really hurts to say it, but it's factual. So, obviously, offensive line we talked about. Defensive end interiorly is no longer a need, so all these players outside of, future replacement for Leonard Williams, someone said Floyd and Fournette, is pretty much useless as well. I think Harvin is worth taking as he's a 2 to 3. Might take edge in the first round because there's two of them. I think Big Sid is one, and Clifton obviously is one at that size. And we have no other needs, and Aziz might just not be the guy. So I suppose trade down and then grab whoever's there, assuming there is one. But realistically, a trade down, I think, is just number one, the thing we have to do. Buffalo's going to give me a first round next year. Do we play the long game even though we're kind of ready already? It's the only team giving me a first round next year. That would be interesting. I think I am going to take this because if Slayton's asking for too much money or he has a down year or whatever reason he's not here next season, we could use that extra first round pick to land, tight end, interesting, to land another wide receiver. Whereas, if you're outside the top 15 in the first round, you're probably not going to land a solid quarterback. The Chargers must have lost. My man's. Is Johnson the edge? I'll probably trade up for the edge if there is one. I don't even know who it is. I can't remember their names. That was definitely one of them. But at the same time, I'm not going to trade up 2 spots. If I lose him, I lose him. Nice. Okay, so I think I'm going Bankston. Of course, a B block shed and A power move. He's 21. He's 21. I mean, this is kind of like future-proofing a position we might not actually need, but I'm going to do it anyways. Dante Bankston. Okay, well, hopefully he's good because he is normal development trait. We have no third-round pick, again, because of last year, but we do have that first-round pick next year, obviously. I'm debating on what I want to do here. There's linemen. We just only need one, technically, so I'm probably just going to take whoever's kind of remaining, maybe Bayless or Daly. Those guys look pretty good. There is a tight end. He's not the fastest, but he's pretty good for 6'6". It's a position for future need, though. Waller's 31. He's like an 87 overall. He's going to regress hard, especially since he's not even an X factor. But at the same time, there's all of these DTs. And by saying all of, I mean there's 2. D. Turk, who's higher projected, but Harvin, who looks better. And it's more of a position of need more recently or more concerning, I suppose. But I don't know. I like that tight end a lot. You don't see these types of tight ends often. So, there's like one every other couple of drafts. Dalton Newhouse, who won't play right now, but could play even next season. Or Harvin, who could play not right now, or maybe will be there next season. And you know what? I think tight end's tougher to get. So Dalton Newhouse. And he's hidden, and he is a lot faster than I was expecting. 4.64 with an 87, 89, wow, speed and excel. Really good jumping. He's insane. I would actually like to start him now if I could. And I doubt he'll be there, but sometimes those 2 to 3s do last to the start of the third. See if any of those interior guys are there. And they are not. We could go with Roth later, who's like a proper nose tackle. Could move Dexter inside. Because he's just so good. He can just pass rush rather than just like sit there to stop the run. Yeah, we do have some wide receiver options. Alex Holly and Pryor. I would obviously like Holly more. I might go to the 4th round. We're going to slow sim until it's Bayless or Daly and then make some plays. So we trade 55, Cordale, Flott, and 143 for 84 and 116. Is it Cordale or Cardale? I think it's Cordale, right? I always think it's Cardale, though. But of course, that second round was next year, so that extra first we have basically acting as a high second, assuming one of the picks sucks, which I would imagine one will be. The lineman went in a fast and fury mode, 10 to 20 in the 3rd round, which of course leaves us with just the final center, who is from Wisconsin, so you got to assume he's going to be a great center. Stanley Bayless, thank you being hidden. I'm glad he's hidden because we, haven't had the most luck against linemen. It's been a lot of normals. Let's go to the next round, start of, and maybe make our last pick, assuming Holly's still there. And like I said, the route running's a little iffy, but we could use a linebacker too. The route running's a little bit iffy, but 2 A's for the catching, and pretty athletic. I mean, do you see him as a true number 2 or a 3 in the future? For sure 3, but 22, I don't know. But at the same time, do you actually want to trade up for a guy that won't start right away and he's 22? I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to move to 15 and take best available pick. Especially since that wide receiver could be there forever. You never know. Oh, we also have 2 fourth-round picks. Interesting. Who's there? Sounds like I was talking to like somebody knocked on the door or something. But as of right now, Roth is probably the biggest need. So I'm going to go Patrick Roth. Huge guy, strong, very raw looking, but we're going to grab him. Maybe that block shed's a B, and he's hidden development trait, which we love to see. Seen a lot of normal development trait nose tackles, but this is not one of them. And let's grab some more depth. Super speedy A-zone coverage youngster in Underwood. Normal development trait, but that is a beast. Like a player like that, like I've said in the past, would probably go late first round in a user class. Like that athleticism is insane. My wide receivers are gone, but we do have a cornerback here. Lynn St. Louis, decently athletic for 6'2". Grab some depth. Oh, it's not our pick, actually. What the hell am I even thinking of? We don't even have a draft pick here. What am I? Holy. Didn't end up with a wide receiver. Gonna skip. That is cringe as hell. I'm just there spamming the A button. Not even our draft pick. What an idiot. $30 million to work with. Every pick was pretty much good except for the first rounder. Although he is a 74 overall. We take it, I suppose. Dante Bankston. Oh, he's actually really good. I really want to see the other guy, but 81 power move, 77 block shedding is not bad at all. That is not a bad pick. Dalton Newhouse, hidden development trait, could be a superstar. We've seen superstars like this before. No possession catch, which kind of sucks, but possession catch in general sucks this year in Madden, so you wouldn't really care anyways. What can he wear, 85? I don't know. Star dev, it is what it is. He's amazing. Probably the future starting center, or not starting center, starting tight end. This guy will be the starting center now, but that guy probably makes it more of a want to get rid of Waller, so we'll see what happens. Bayless, star development trait as well. All star development traits, but they're all great. Also, maybe not all star. 68 overall kind of sucks, but could be better than a 68 overall, if you know what I mean. Could be an X factor. We're in 79. I guess I'll allow it. And his dev is star. I've seen it, it's been a while since we had that X Factor, but we did have one a long time ago, if you remember. First round draft pick as well added for next year. We did lose the second, but obviously first round is better than second no matter what. So there's that. And then obviously I do want to take a look at this edge rusher. Was there anyone else I was going to make a play at? I can't remember, but definitely edge rusher. Where the hell are they? Clifton, 74 overall. Hidden development trait. Okay. Actually a worse version of our guy, but has all the traits. But obviously, if a superstar, then you're looking pretty good. I'm going to put him at like 50. Wow, their numbers suck. 56, I guess. Star dev. Yeah, I'd probably rather have our guy, but then again, our guy's not starting this season unless Aziz is really bad out the gate. So I guess maybe I don't know. I'd probably rather have him. And then one last player I want to look at was Holly, because we almost made a play for him, but didn't. And there he is to the Jets. 76 overall. Thankfully, he's normal. Oof. That release sucks, though. Deep route's not great either, but he is actually really good. 86 catching traffic, 84 catching. I will say the overall looks a little boosted. Like, it looks like it's inflated or something. Like, that doesn't really feel like a 76 overall, right? Like, good short route, decently fast, good catching and catching traffic, but deep route's awful. Medium's not great. Release is awful. Jumping is awful. Spec is awful. I mean, he's got all the traits. He's all right, but yeah, I'm not too worried about missing on him. So like we talked about, we know that this team likes having a bunch of different wide receivers just to throw the name in the hat, but Paris Campbell is literally going to be wasted for us because I was going to end up wasting Wan'Dale Robinson. I just completely forgot about him because of the big injury, but yeah, he's being wasted. Issa Vivas is being wasted. Shepard's technically being wasted because he's actually a really high overall, but Campbell would have the most value by far. We only take like a $6 million dead hit, and look at the team. The Colts, they wanted him back. They get him back. And yeah, I mean, their receivers. With Pittman, maybe you don't hate it too much, but with no Pittman, Corey Davis is your number one guy. They needed something, so someone familiar, I suppose. Could you imagine how bad they would look, though, if they traded for their own guy that they drafted super high? But I gotta say, I mean, taking the risk, He had 959 with 8 touchdowns. He's easily worth a 5th-round pick at 27. Easily. All right, we had a pretty good season 1. Didn't make the playoffs, but a lot of players went from no good dev to very good dev. The two big names obviously being Jones and Slayton. Ayuk is the new number 1 wide receiver technically. Wan'Dale Robinson, still pretty young, so at 23, maybe if he gets a breakout or something, could still be solid, and we could have our 3 wide receivers for the future. Tight end, Waller's still a really good overall as an 87 overall, but obviously Newhouse was just too good not to keep. And obviously, you can never have enough skill position players, right? Well, if you want to call a tight end skill position, but you know what I mean. Pass catchers, I suppose. Offensive line, we'll see how this goes down the line. But yeah, it's not bad. Defense, linebackers, there's question marks, especially at outside, which is why we have Bankston, who is probably already better than Ojulari, especially at least as a run stopper. Interior, Ed Oliver was added. Corner is probably the biggest need right now after this latest offseason. We did well. We did well so far. I mean, I would love to see a playoff berth here, especially since we already have an extra first round, so we don't really need draft positioning right now either. I don't care, dude. I'm going to put him pure tackling or sure tackling. I'm going to add, just to be fair, 3 finesse, even though it should be more. Getting rid of the tackle, add into finesse. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So Aziz is not playing super well. He's at like 3.5 sacks at like the midway point. We're going to be trading him to the Ravens for a 39 and 103. You know, he's a really good overall, very solid player at his age. Just not playing well with us. I don't know what the problem is. Bankston we took very high, so getting some picks back for a guy that needs a contract now, and we just aren't going to re-sign. So Thibodeau has become a superstar. It's been a little break in between breakouts, but we have killed it for the ones that we have gotten. Like, I'm genuinely shocked that we've gotten the dev ups we've had. Andrew Thomas, I'm genuinely shocked by how much money he wants. So definitely 2 names that we can pay and 2 names we should pay. Darius Slayton's also a very fair contract, which, I mean, in real life, you argue as 82 overall, 10 mil per year over 2 is probably pretty fair, right? So, you know, there's that. But as far as the way he has physically played, at least last season, I didn't actually pay attention this season. Maybe he sucks. You definitely expect a lot more than that. And then Andrew Thomas is Andrew Thomas. He's him. Let's give him a 5-year 135. How much is that? 27 per. He's not even a superstar, but he is a superstar, if you know what I mean. It's not like a joke. It's like, ha, got him, dude. Superstar, idiot. And then the new punter. Well, not even new punter, but a 3-year deal for the punter. Everyone else is probably replaceable. Z's probably would have asked for about 15 per, so I'm glad we moved on. Is this a dev up for Bankston? It is. Star development trade and 5K XP on the final week of the regular season. And it was a huge win over the Browns, 42-3, which should make us a playoff team. Even though we lost, it still does. What seeding? I guess, I don't know why I click X when I could literally just go to the thing. Cowboys go 15-2 after a 4-13 season. I don't know what that's about. They drafted, what did they even draft? Linebacker? That must have a difference, I guess. We were the 5th seed, which is not that bad. It's not, the worst seed. It's actually the best of the non-division winners. So there's that. I mean, it's something. When I was looking earlier, Daniel Jones didn't look great. And based on this, not great in general. Rushing wasn't that great. Receiving Ayuk was okay, but not as good as Slayton was. This team had a down year. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Evan Neal gave up 18 sacks. I'm glad the 95 overall we're paying $27 million per year is giving up 8 sacks. Let's take a look at the edge. Bankston at 4. I mean, that's not much worse than Aziz had last season, and Bankston didn't start until week 9. Ed Oliver with 7. That's okay. Dexter Lawrence at 8 and 5 is not great for how good he is. But Tibbs, 13.5. We love to see it. We'll pay him most likely. Tyler Bass, not a great season. Punting was amazing. Maybe the best punter in the league. If only there was a damn award for it. But a playoff berth, even though this was a way worse season last year. Lamar Jackson's a Cowboy. Okay, I don't see that happening, but you never know. When's the Cowboys go crazy and Dak is just terrible? I doubt it, but you never know. Completely forgot about Dak. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Try to recover on that, and I was like, yeah, it don't make no damn sense. EA is who they are. Who the hell is Dak then? Don't tell me Lamar Jackson is starting for Dak and they still have him. Oh my god, dude. What do they got? 80 mil in quarterbacks? Oh my lord, that is just ridiculous. But let's go in, take on these Buccaneers, maybe win a game, who knows. All right, here we go. Can we beat the Buccaneers? Right, a really nice start with the defense giving a short field touchdown and then 2 touchdowns in a row for the defense allowed. 17-14 is a very close game so far. 17-14, still 17 all, 24-17. A very high-scoring first half. Up by 3. Can't score. They go up by 3. Come on, offense. Nice. Up by 4. And that should be the win. Giving the Buccaneers a chance, but offense did its job and defense... Well, I wish it was better. Of course, Daniel Jones with one of the greatest playoff performances literally ever. And then rushing, not great from Saquon. Didn't change the scheme on offense. Holy crap, Slayton literally put up like 35% of his yards in this game from his regular season. Ayuk with a great season or game as well. How does that even happen, dude? Like, I just don't understand how Slayton does 15 catches for 264. I mean, you guys seen it. That literally looks like I came into the game in situations where we were struggling and just had like a 75-yard bomb to him or something. But obviously it didn't happen because we simmed the whole way through. That's ridiculous. All right, heads of the division. I seen the Cardinals win. They were a worse seed than us, right? Yeah, they were. Another team that was worse seed than us must have won then because we have a home game here. The Washington Commanders beat the Niners, so... we get a home game as the 5th seed. Not bad at all. I mean, I suppose it happens, but didn't expect it. Definitely didn't expect it. I was just glad that we don't have to play the Cowboys. J.J. Watt's still here. Will Anderson. No trade down from the Cardinals, even though I definitely think they probably should. Definitely probably. Favorite phrase. Don't know if this is going to be the year or not, though, because the Cowboys may actually be unbeatable. I don't understand how they were so bad with Dak and then just great with Lamar, but that's just the way it is. 7-0. Man, our defense sucks, though. It's so bad. 14-7, 21-7, 21-10. I mean, this is a Cardinals team that really isn't great on offense. It just really isn't. 28-13, 28-20. Thankfully, our offense is killing it, though. This offense, man, though, I will say, this defense sucks. But this offense seems like it can compete with almost anyone. You know, with Will Anderson on the Cardinals, this is a pretty good defense, especially with J.J. Watt still around, even though he shouldn't be. You know, it's a pretty damn good defense. I suppose they do actually have Marquise and Rondale and Hopkins, so fair enough to their offense. But, yeah, I mean, this is kind of surprising. Brian Branch with an interception. Feel like I haven't heard his name at all in this rebuild so far, other than, obviously, when we drafted him. Brian Branch with a zone coverage upgrade. Oh, my Lord. 1 to zone. 83 zone. Some upgrades, we'll get those done, and then head on to what would probably assume to be the Dallas Cowboys, a.k.a. the grinder. Come on, Commanders. Of course not. I want to see how they beat them. Was it like a smoke show? Obviously, they didn't have to play the wild card round. I mean, it wasn't that bad, I suppose. 35-24 is, I mean, it's winnable. But yeah, we are higher overall than them, so just saying, there's a chance. If we can beat this Dallas team, I mean, I feel good about a Super Bowl win. I really do, which would be a crazy time to win it. This would be early as hell. But the dev-ups came early as hell, so it is what it is. Looked like we drove down but threw an interception. Defense holding up all right so far. Gave up a touchdown, though, after another interceptions, it seems like. Could it be the defense that clutches up for once? 17-10, 17 all. Come on, offense. Nice. Up by 7, up by 10. One more point wins it. Huge drive for Dallas. And we win the game because of the defense. There was at least 2 or 3 turnovers in that one. Was it Daniel Jones? I don't know. And it was. 2 interceptions for Daniel Jones. The defense clutching up. I love it. Bijan with the Dallas Cowboys. No Zeke. Or with Zeke, no Tony Pollard. What a weird change of events. Wan'Dale Robinson had a good game. Ayuk, Slayton nowhere near as good as that one game. But, hey, team effort. We did it. Bankston, Tibbs. I mean, this is a team effort. They even have Jordan Brooks. I mean, we were going up against literally the meat grinder, like we said, and we won. The Chargers were struggling all the way through this playoff run, even though they're really good of a roster. Beating Dallas has to mean something. It has to mean we're them. Please tell me it means we're them. I want to actually see their run. Maybe it was just one bad game and they're just actually killing it. Whole bunch of upgrades, but sadly, I mean, there's only really 2 upgrades in there that really matter. Catching traffic and release. Everything else is, you know, kind of fullback-y stuff, if you will. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of dev-ups we had, if any. I didn't pay attention to Bankston's Rookie of the Year status. I don't think he won it, though, because it was a pretty tame season, to be fair, but maybe we got another dev up on defense, maybe a corner, maybe a linebacker, I don't know. Offensively, Ayuk did not get the dev up, sadly. And then defensively, linebacker upgrade. Tibbs is an X Factor. Branch is a superstar. Holmes is a superstar. Okay, so some defensive dev ups. Or was Branch already a superstar? Was he already a superstar? Bro, I don't understand. He wasn't a superstar before, right? I actually don't understand. This has happened in our career simulations where, like, maybe my brain's just not working, or they're just not showing up every time when a dev up happens. Or was that last season? I really can't tell you. I really can't remember, but we got some dev ups. That's a long story short. Dev ups for some players that are pretty big for us. X Factor is massive for an edge rusher. But yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones and company in the Super Bowl against the Chargers. Like I said, I do want to see what their playoff run looked like. I don't think they had a bye week. They did not. Okay, 42 points against the Patriots. This is the one I noticed. Only a 1-point win over the Colts. 4-point win over the Raiders. I mean, up and down. I mean, if there's a historical side of that, does this mean that they're... I don't want to do that. Does this mean that they're about to suck? Because, you know, good, bad, question mark? Hopefully. Let's see if we can win a Super Bowl. Come on. Gotta say, this Giants offensive scheme, it's something about it, dude. Right to left is us. We get a touchdown. Defense has done an okay job so far. Offense needs to do better, though. Offense needs a score there, dude. I mean, come on, offense, please. 14-3. Turnover in our own end zone. This is a weird Super Bowl, but we're going to win it. 28-18. It was almost 11 from their side. The defense, back-to-back games, coming up clutch. And we win a Giants Super Bowl in year 2. We're going to go for 4 total, try to win 2 out of 3 seasons. So obviously this would be the first, and then the next 2 would be 2 and 3. This is a young team with a lot of potential still. Daniel Jones. Who the hell is their quarterback? Who is that? Daniel Jones is him. He's an X Factor after the first season. From normal to X Factor. That is not a common sight. The last time I've done, well, I mean, maybe in a rebuild, but the last time I've physically done a normal to X Factor was when we had, like, Ronald Jones, I think. That's kind of crazy, but here we are. Super Bowl champions with the Giants after Season 2. Definitely one of our more proud rebuilds, and Carson was actually the guy we were looking at in the draft, but we just didn't need him. Justin Herbert, who knows where the hell he is. Austin Eckler was awful. Usually doesn't get that many carries either. Saquon Barkley, I mean, it is what it is. 20 for 75. Not a great yards per carry, but it was a grinder. 2 touchdowns. He didn't have a big run, so that was all earned yardage, if you will. Ayuk and Slayton were pretty good. Waller was solid. I mean, we're kind of wasting that rookie tight end, but I want to keep the team talented and best available player-wise as long as possible. And, I mean, we won a Super Bowl here. We still have plenty of seasons left in us. Just don't know what the money is like. If Waller's a big hit, which I don't think he is, maybe we have to move on from him. But what a year. What a year. You can't ask for a better year than that. I mean, let's just take a look. What was our average points? So 27 was our lowest. And each game since the wild card, we gave up less points each time. Of course, we also scored less points outside of the Super Bowl each time. But defense tightened up, and we were able to win early. So we skipped free agency because obviously we don't have that much money and we don't really have that many needs. But let me tell you, there appears to be a superstar X Factor wide receiver, and it's not that guy. I think it's this guy based on his height, based on some of those key ratings, and the fact that he's a 4.24 40. If I can get him, I will trade up, but once again, it's going to cost a lot to get there, so I think we're going to have to at least hope he's there to like 4 or 5. Don't know if he will be, but we'll find out. We trade 17, 32, and 145 this year for pick 5. Literally what we talked about the season before for a chance at a wide receiver literally happened. The thing is, we didn't actually need this to happen. It's just, it did. I was going to go for some other position. We don't really even have any needs, but the wide receiver is so solid. I almost have no choice but to take him. This guy is... I mean, if he's not an X Factor, I mean, either way, he's still a really good player. So Isaiah Hardison's going to be my choice. Hidden development trade. I actually didn't even pay attention to the vertical, but apparently he's 99 jumping as well. He may be the best wide receiver I've ever drafted. He is ridiculous. But yeah, I didn't even plan on taking wide receiver because, Slayton, 2-year 20 or whatever, and he's an 85 overall now. He's still an X factor, obviously. Don't really need that position, but once again, talent is talent. I have no choice. And once again, talking about things that we need, not a whole lot of them. There's really not a lot that we do need. So I'm going to take the risk on this A to C power move guy who has a B block shed. I have to assume that it's at least a B power move. Could be a C in fairness, but I think I'm going to grab him as our new, hidden development trait, as our future new right end once Leonard Williams is gone. Don't know what his hit is, but maybe he's actually releasable now, but not 100% sure. Lineman never hurts, especially with Evan Neal probably going to need a contract after this season, and I don't know if we're going to keep him because he's given up a lot of sacks, let me tell you that much. I think Jimenez is great, but I don't know if he's going to be there. Haskins might not be there either because day 3 could literally be start of the 4th, which means they've taken mid-3rd. So I'm going to move down until one of them is remaining. So we end up keeping 96. We give up 101, 128, and then a 7th next year for 88, which is still slightly in our favor, I believe. But they are getting a lot of depth. So even though it is value-wise in our favor, depth-wise, multiple picks, it's pretty even, if not in their favor. Enrique Jimenez is going to be our choice. A awareness, A impact. He's okay. He looks all right, and he is hidden. Athleticism sucks, but who cares? And then at 32, I'm also going to take Dorian Haskins. Why not? Another hidden development. He's like pretty much the same guy. Same age, same size, same, dev thing hidden. I don't know. Maybe one superstar, maybe both superstar, maybe they're both. I don't know. But let's move on to the next pick. There was a running back, but, there's always a ton of backup running backs in free agency, so who cares? Let's take a look if any of the running backs are still here, though, in this realm. And there is. So Mr. Nance, 21 years old, decent bit of speed, and obviously a power back. Not a bad pick. And the rest we're going to trade away for next season. I think we landed a really good draft, even though we probably didn't need to. Buccaneers with a 4th next year, which is a really nice steal, because, that was right on the edge of being a 6th-round pick anyways, so even if they win the Super Bowl, that's a whole round ahead. Draft recap, let's see it. Yeah, he is expectedly, unsurprisingly, a generational. 96 speed, 93 excel, 89 spec, 99 jump, 87 release. Of course, his injury and toughness, well, maybe not so much toughness, but injury is awful. The game just hates talent, even though this guy is talent, simply put. Isaiah Hardison, X Factor, what is it, traits? No ag or possession. Okay, they did their best to make the best trash can they could. He's really good, but some of those ratings, those traits are so bad. We have another legendary number here at 91. X Factor 2! Okay, that's a win. 2 X Factors in the same class. This guy, there's no way he's an X Factor. This guy's like the plug and play or paste and copy and paste bad lineman. He's that good at one thing, even though he's 76 overall, bad at everything else. What about Haskins? Hidden. Also a pretty bad run blocker. Both guys pass block heavy. Don't think those types of players are usually superstar. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but ours aren't at least. And then 2 randomers that aren't really that good. But 69 overall Nance with great trucking, decent stiff arm, good juke ability and whatnot, decent speed. 2 X Factors, huh? All right, I kind of want to see what there was a quarterback that went number 1 overall. I don't really care about him too much now. And then there was another wide receiver who looked pretty good, 79 overall. Could it be 2 generationals? 94 spec, 85 catching traffic, 84 release. It's pretty damn good. Is this 2 generational X Factors in the same class? It is not. Our guy is significantly better, though, because of that speed and obviously the dev, believe it or not. Makes a bit of a difference, but 2 X Factors in 1 class. That is kind of busted. And we're going to be wasting at least the right end. I think the wide receiver, I don't really know what we're going to do here. Ayuk has a higher ceiling than Slayton, kind of. But Ayuk is the smaller one, although Slayton's, I don't know why I thought Slayton was 6'2", 205 or something, but 6'1", 190. I mean, Hardison's got to start, right? Like he's a true number one, and he's an X factor. He's the most athletic. He's just him. Simply put. Long story short, can we get rid of Leonard? Doesn't really save much. I guess this guy's a backup for year one, even though he's an X factor. So it is now officially season 3, and the X factor rookie becomes the wide receiver 1. Ayuk at 2 with Slayton at 3. This is a very good group of receivers. When Waller decides that he doesn't want to play anymore, we have a backup ready to go. We'll say after this season, Evan Neal is going to need a contract, and I do not know if we're going to pay that contract because he's playing poorly, and he's going to ask for at least 15 plus per. I don't know if we can even afford that. Bull could move back to right tackle, and Jimenez or whoever can play guard, and we can save money. Same with Williams, and then Ed Oliver, with Griffin obviously taking one of the starting jobs. We're in a great spot. We have depth. We have talent. Only real thing now is corner, maybe corner. But I suppose Adoree Jackson is an 84 overall now, like we talked about. Maybe hitting that 84, 85 max spot. Having a little bit of a strugglesome season while the division itself is very competitive across the board. So maybe not the best time for that to happen. As far as like pass rushes go here, Ed Oliver definitely has a higher ceiling. Very much so the word of the day, word of the rebuilds lately. So if we're going to keep anyone, it would be him. A 2-year 31's a little costly, but sorry, Leonard Williams, you are the, I wouldn't say cap casualty, but you are the age casualty, I would say. Wan'Dale Robinson kind of got screwed, but at the same time, we found better options, so it's not really his fault. It's no one's fault, really. All right, a hell of a turnaround of the season. We were like 5-5 at one point, and we ended up finishing 10-7. So really good stuff. Haven't changed the scheme on offense. I did change the scheme to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense for pass rush ability. Hopefully that gives us more sack totals. I don't know, but like I said, really bad start. Finished really well. Finished after that really well, and then lost to the Raiders and Cowboys, which is an L. But what can you do? Super Bowl season last year, and a repeat chance is still alive. Daniel Jones, definitely not as good as that like first season, but we'll take it anyways. Good rushing. The rookie was great. The rest were pretty bad, to be fair. And then offensive line, I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm getting here for Andrew Thomas, who's given up 9 sacks a season for $27 million per year. Bankston, the number 1 edge rusher on the team, apparently. Ed Oliver with 11.5. Love to see those two go to superstar. Would be amazing. Lawrence at 8.5. Tibbs at 6.5. And then Leonard Williams at 3. Interception totals really weak. Bass, better season. Gillian, worse, but still good. And kick return, punt return game. I don't know why that 6'3 corner is playing return man. He is slow. He's like 87 speed. MVP of the league goes to Joe Burrow. We can have any award. We got Rookie of the Year with our wide receiver. I wonder if he's going to go to X Factor. Obviously, that's quite literally impossible. Who do we have to play against? The Seattle Seahawks. 85 overall for them. We are 91. Remember to drink your water because, man, it's... especially when you leave it for a bit, it is divine. 3-7. This offensive performance is not divine. 3-14, 10-14. Nice defensive stop. Start of the second half, we're leading. Now we're back down. Will be Seattle that stops our chance at a two-peat. Come on. Or the repeat. I don't even know what you would call it. The time right now, I didn't even get to see. No, I didn't get to play. I completely forgot to slow sim it. No. Jalen Hurts is starting quarterback for the Seahawks. That would be quite interesting. Wow. Defense was awful. Gave up how many big runs? 94-yarder in the playoffs. Absolute bums. So we win the Super Bowl, and then we proceed to not even win a playoff game. And it's not like we had the bye week, so like it was deeper in. We literally didn't even win the first round of the playoffs. We died in the first round. Definitely not preferable, but let's take a look at what dev-ups we had, if any, and head on to this final season. It's obviously a win. The team is insane. The Panthers are back in the Super Bowl, at least in the terms of recent rebuilds. They're like always in there several times. And they actually lose to the Chiefs. Fair enough. Dev-ups, any of them, hopefully on defense. Obviously, offense is not really much we can do about anyways. I mean, like, who would get a dev-up? Ayuk. And I think this might be the season that Newhouse starts, because Waller's down to an 84 overall now. Look at Hardison, 91 overall. Any dev-ups? Lawrence went up in dev. Bankston didn't, though. And I don't think we had superstar for my mans here, did we? Did we? I don't know if we did, but he doesn't show that he did, so there's that. Sadly, though, no dev up for Oliver or Bankston, who both deserved it. Lawrence is like, I'll take that 6-sack superstar X Factor or whatever he had. Probably had a bunch of tackles for a loss, in fairness, but let's see what my man's is missing here. Any speed upgrades? No speed upgrades. I think he went up 2 Excel. He's 94 release. Holy crap, he's ridiculous. He is actually ridiculous. He needs short route, though. 3 to short route will help out. He may retire the greatest wide receiver of all time, even though these abilities are tragic. We also do have a little bit more money than we would have thought to have, but we're going to let Williams go, Holmes go, Robinson, Bellinger, Dane, Belton, Caden Stearns, even though it hurts my feelings, all these guys. And it's probably Bellinger, but for some reason my brain said Bellinger. Well, this is the last season, and you would want to, like, you know, do as much as you can to make this the most successful season. I don't think you want to ruin a good thing. I think we got unlucky to not win the playoff game we did. This team is a dynasty-level team, so I wouldn't want to risk anything by, like, signing someone crazy. The only thing I would maybe do is, like, even grab Zeke. I know it's like a division rival, whatever kind of player situation, but a 1-year 4.5, I think, for him is a steal. Surprisingly, Cole Holcomb joined on a 1-year 6. I love the depth. And then Zeke, 1-year 4.5. These players know we're building something. I'm just saying. This is like the longest battle ever. I offered Chris Hanna a 3 or 6. It took a sim and 6 of the eval periods where you click the left trigger or left analog stick in, and it does 3 evaluations. And he finally accepted. We also had a Nick Cross on a 3-year, I don't even know, $9 million deal as a backup. Super, super beast deal. All right, pick 22. I think corner is probably one of the biggest needs going forward. Brian Branch was asked about for a 5th-year option. I said no, because I think we could, pay him about the same regardless per year if we just do it now or right away. But cornerback was one of the things. Didn't get Walters further scouted. There are a couple other guys like Aiken that look really good, 6'1", 210. All of them are pretty athletic, if I remember. It's not great athleticism, but it should be like 91-plus speed. This guy had no man coverage, but he has good zone coverage, and he's athletic, so do you not just wait for him? I don't even know. And also, this punter looks really solid. I don't know if he's generational. What's the story? But DT wouldn't hurt. I think Spears is great, though, but so is Drummond. Do you not just trade to, like, the middle of the second round, which the clock's ticking, and then grab the 2 best players at the positions of need? We traded pick 22 to the Packers, who had pick 6 for a second round next year, which is kind of crazy. Do we not just grab someone early, especially if one of them is a corner? Please, let me see. Brown is still there, who looked decent. Aiken is still there, who looked decent. How fast was Brown? Zach Brown, 6 foot tall, undersized, but fast. Yeah, I'm going to grab him. Hit development trade, 93 speed, 94 excel. We are set at cornerback for the future as well. So we trade a second round next year and a late 4th this year for 41. That second round was from the Packers. I mean, they're projected, a high second. I don't know if they actually will be, so we knocked that out of the park. Is that Steve Nash? Steven Nash. Okay, we know who you are. Don't pretend. He also looks really good, by the way. Do I not just grab him? He looks very non-athletic, but I'm really curious to see how good he is. I'm not going to grab him because it's not a position of need, but I'm very curious to see how good he is. Also, you have a guard that looks decent, but Drummond, I think, for the future is the biggest need. He is 22, but it is what it is. Almost said 23. Hidden, strength of 91, another really good draft. If Steven Nash is there at 22, I'll grab him, even though he looks kind of like a bust. Oh, Schroeder just went. Sweet. Do I not grab this corner as well? Maybe play safety anyways? George Albury, why not? Another hidden corner, why not, dude? Why the F not? Similar colors. Oh, they actually didn't want it, so there's that. That's the difference. Similar colors, same division. It's what tricked me. Let's grab that center, and I don't know if we can do anything in the pick 13 in the 4th, but we'll try it. Assuming we actually even have that. I don't know if that's even true. Mr. Bobby Smith, welcome to the team. New offensive lineman. Appears to be a pure center. Very athletic and strong. So pick 13 in the 4th was actually legitimate. Who's the best wide receiver? I suppose Bernard, right? That Harding guy looks pretty decent too. But Bernard, 5'9", 22 years old, athletic, welcome to the squad, 93 speed, a little bit of an L. Depends on what those A's are, if they're actually true. And then in the 6th round, we're going to be grabbing a punter. They didn't actually look at kicker, but maybe I should look at kicker as well. Don't have a 7th round pick, but if the punter's still there, I'm going to grab him. Which he is. Shane Parrish, B kick accuracy with elite kick power, apparently elite speed, which, I mean, that's compared to the other class players. Not a generational, but 81 speed with 97 kick power is still pretty damn good. And we trade a 5th round next year to the Falcons for their 6th this year, and the reason for that would be that it just so happened that there is an elite kick power kicker, Mr. Brian Costello, B kick power, or B accuracy, and elite kick power, 23, but that's fine. And he's generational, 99 kick power, hidden development trait. We literally just landed this future of special teams on our team in the league in the same class, one pick away from each other. That would definitely be a storyline, let me tell you. Let's take a look at the draft recap. We're down to 29 mil after that one, which is it's pretty good overalls, though. The kicker is a 78. Obviously, he's generational. Zach Brown, I don't think any of the players we just got are going to start this season, but definitely good for the future, obviously. Got the DBs kind of set for life here. Star development trait. How many of them are star or, better than star? I don't know how many are going to be better than star, but it is what it is. 83 power move. Block shed sucks, but 83 power move is pretty busted. I think he would be more of a left end, right? Is it that we would need? Star development trait as well. Albury, I think he would have a better chance of being a safety in the future because his man is terrible. So I'm going to play him at free safety. He'll be a backup for now. Maybe the rest of this because obviously we're going to be done after the season. What's his dev? Also star development trait. A bunch of star devs. It looks like other than the kicker, there's probably going to be all stars, which it is what it is. It's not bad, but it would have been nice. The guy's head is so much bigger than his body. I get he is kind of on the shorter side, but still. Yeah, they're all stars, but they're still all really good players and really good picks, so I don't hate it. The final season. We'll also get a good look at what the team will look like in the future, even though we're not going to actually be here for that future when the re-signings need to happen this season. How old is Saquon Barkley now? 29, huh? I wonder how much regression has happened there. Trucking's only an 89, which is a little bit of an L, but very good offense, obviously. Daniel Jones, I think he's kind of reached his peak, right? 29 years old, he hasn't really done much. 15K XP isn't even that, much, but he's just not really going up in overall. I don't know if it's just overalls, his upgrades just suck, but he's pretty accurate. 90 throw power you can get away with. Waller's an 84 overall. Probably should have Newhouse starting, but it's the final season anyway, so we're going to let it happen. The team is great. The team has the future set. I mean, you got to like where everything is. Bankston gets 1 of 2. He's 10K XP. A lot of money, but also a lot of money to spend. Can we get this man on a cheap? I'm going to do a 6-year 120 and just cut to the chase. Branch needs a 4-year 46. I will say his zone coverage kind of sucks, but it's obviously worth it. 6-year 75. Why not? Perfect offer, he says. Slayton, who would you rather choose long-term? Probably Ayuk, technically. Evan Neal, actually not as bad as I thought. I guess we'll pay him since he's a superstar. Ooh, maybe I won't, actually. Because you can get a guy like Bowl, who is same overall for, 25 mil total less, which is a lot of money. So if I can pull this off, I'd rather do that. 4-year 46. Oh, my God, these guys are so annoying, though. Let me tell you. 3-year deal. I would do a 2-year deal worth this. Please, someone. Thank you. Okereke, my dude. Bass, I suppose. Daniel Jones needs a 4-year 120. The way he's been playing lately probably is worth a lot less. We'll take it. 70 mil left. Man, this is a crazy re-sign year, though. Cornerback's got to be paid. Dory. So just to cut to the chase so you guys don't have to see it all, we'll pay him. We'll pay him. We'll try to pay him. We'll try to pay him. We're definitely going to pay him, and then Ayuk, I think, is the other guy we're going to pay. Playoffs, and let me tell you, awful season. We changed the playbook because we were, I don't even know what we were at one point, 4-8, I think. and we finished 8-9. I don't know what to tell you. The Eagles are also really bad, but I think they lost Jalen Hurts, so that makes more sense. I think it was, let me see, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I started with the Atlanta offense, didn't change anything else, not even the vertical zone or anything like that. And we won 5 of our last 6 with that playbook, but it wasn't enough. EA has done it again. The best team in the league can't even make the playoffs because this game is coded by a bunch of absolute geniuses. Daniel Jones, touchdown to pick ratio is decent, but the yards, the touchdowns themselves, for the whole offense, really just not good. It must have been a bottom 5 scoring offense. Don't know what it is, but you add a talent like Hardison, who is a generational, quite literally, not like some of the other generationals we've had in the past where technically they're generational, but they're easy to replicate. This is not an easy to replicate player. You are not going to be drafting a 6'4", 96 speed guy that's 82 overall, like ever. You're never going to be able to get to that. 6'4" is hard to get 96 speed on, and he's literally only 22, and he's a 95 overall. He's literally insane, and yet we've played worse with him. I don't know who coded this, but they need to be making the most money of all time. Like they're just great. 2 double-digit sack guys again. Just Tibbs doing nothing. I don't understand. I really don't understand Sim. He just 13.5, then 6.5, then 2. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That's pretty much that. Let's go through MVP and all those awards and see who wins the Super Bowl, and then take a look at some of the developing players. It's just so annoying when that happens. Like, how do we get better? And we're the best team in the league. I don't know by how much, but definitely the best team in the league. Yeah, we can't even make the playoffs. Forget the Super Bowl. It happens, right? The best team doesn't always win, but can't make the playoffs? Really? We can't even make the playoffs. Okay, I'm sure. As the Bengals win the Super Bowl over the Commanders, let's take a look at these overalls real quick. I probably should have done after the fact because there's probably regressions, but let's take a look at these overalls. 83, 87, 85. Wow, these guys are really competing with us, all right. Look at these overalls. Whew. Talented team. The Chiefs, who are always in the Super Bowl, they're 2 overalls less than us. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I don't know. But let's take a look at our team and call this a rebuild. We got a Super Bowl win. Didn't finish it up with the most success, but we got that Super Bowl win, which is what the main goal was. Started off with Daniel Jones, who was a 90 or 85 overall, was 90 throw power, but actually lost throw power here this season or this offseason. But every other accuracy, 90 plus, mid 80s for everything else that kind of matters. So he's solid. He's solid. He definitely got worse over the seasons, but he's definitely solid. We already looked at Hardison. We don't even look at him again. I don't know why I even tried to. Let's take a look at Saquon. We already looked at Saquon as well. Slayton's obviously regressing, but he ended up being a decent deep threat guy, but good catching, good release. Little bit iffy on the route running department. Ayuk, we didn't really even develop. He just got here. Newhouse never started, but he is an 80 overall. He's going to need a contract next season, but he would be the projected starting tight end going forward. He's 25, so he still has a chance, I suppose. But let's take a look at these rookie linemen, specifically, or real-life rookie linemen, specifically Evan Neal, the pass block. Run block finesse is rough. In general, he's a bad pass blocker because EA only goes for the highest rated position. I think just in everything. I don't think it's just certain positions. I think they just upgrade whatever the highest archetype is, and they just roll it all the way till the end. I think it proves it with our latest Titans rebuild, where the blocking tight end X Factor became just a 90-plus overall blocking guy, and that's it. I think, I don't know why EA codes it like that. You would think they would try to balance the player out or have some sort of, system where you can actually choose how to upgrade them, but that's not the case. They thought they figured it all out. Hey, if they're the best, if their archetype's the highest, clearly that's the only thing you want to develop, right? Because you just want a lineman that can't block for a simple run play, but he can defend the best pass rushers of all time. Makes sense, right? Run blocking for Bass is terrible. Wow, okay, that's not good. Dexter Lawrence, the X Factor, 98 overall. Didn't quite get to 99, but damn plays looks like a damn 99. I can't say he plays like a 99. He's actually playing kind of garbage, to be honest, in Sim, considering how good he is. I love this game. It's flawless. And Oliver ends up becoming an 88 overall, but once again, more of a name than an actual talent at this rate, as I can't imagine any of his ratings, block shed or pass rush wise, are going to be over like 84, right? 85 power move, 80 block shed. That's not really an 88 overall if you ask me, though. Dory Jackson gets a superstar. It doesn't really matter. Tyreek Stevenson, finally like an 86 overall, gets the contract. 94 man coverage, 75 zone coverage. We just talked about how they literally only go for whatever the highest archetype is. Similar with Brian Branch, his hybrid was the highest. Didn't really get his zone coverage up. 84 zone, 86 man. I suppose it's kind of how he plays, so it's not the worst thing in the world. 89 catching, by the way. That's kind of crazy. I don't know what he starts with, but that's ridiculous. Bankston, the 89 overall. Totally worth starting him over Aziz, but ever since then Thibodeau was bad. So, I mean, you just can't win with this team. Okereke is not going to be that good of an overall. He's like 85. He's not really going to go up that much. But Owen, not bad. Good block shedding, decent coverage. Solid player. Looks to be the starting player at that position in the future. Okereke, we talked about that 2-year deal we gave him. Totally worth it. He's still good. But technically, Papawi is already better than him. I can't wait till somebody says his name is Papawi. I don't know what his name is. Looks like Papawi, but it could be something else. Not good at block shedding, but very good player in general. Just didn't play like it. Same with Aziz. Very good ratings, just didn't play well. I don't know what it is. And then McKinney definitely needs to be replaced. He's 29 years old, never got a dev up, and obviously 86 speed, 86 zone, I believe. Not the greatest. But that is pretty much going to be it. There's no one else we need to really look at. The team is good for the future. We re-signed the players we needed to. We still have money. And we're going to save even more money when you get rid of a guy like Waller. So the team is good forever at this point. Maybe you look for a new quarterback because we're just not making the playoffs despite being by far the best team in the league. Regardless, though, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel PKR plays for non-Madden content, which we just recently finished Hogwarts Legacy. So probably going to start up another game soon enough, I imagine. And that's about it. Hope you guys come back for next video, which will probably be on Tuesday. But until next video, see ya!